My first NFT, Stolen Land, is from a body of work that I've been working on for almost 16 years now, the Flag series. And it consists of a total of, I think, around 50 something works. And it's a complete series. I'm not making any more flags. And this is my first NFT that I've made of this body of work.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about why you started this series, Sarah? Like why did you start working with the flag, the American flag? What was your inspiration behind that?
You know, for me, it's always a reflection of my life. It's always very, intimate and very personal. But this work was, I mean, it always comes also from my subconscious. So it's not like something I plan out. It literally took over a decade for me to really realize what this work is about. And there's so many layers that I'm still learning myself. I need so much time and distance to pass to really see, because that's what I think art should be: layers and layers and layers, and not one specific meaning. But there were things that went through my mind, when this body of work was birthed. And I think one, just my personal experience coming from Iran to America, why we came here, because America had basically caused a revolution, a war. There was just so much chaos, and we had to literally escape because Iran was on fire. So, and then we came to the very country that was, the cause of that. But it's not just Iran, it's America's relationship with violence. And it's not just the Middle East, it's South America, it's all over the world. Like this body of work just represents a history with war and with violence, with control. I mean, it's for me, I'm one of those. I don't believe in countries. I don't believe in passports, nationalities. I don't even distinguish between animals and people. We're one. We're all living here together, and we're all exactly the same. We come from the same place. We go into the same place. That's why I think I dug into this this idea of nationalism, all this, because it's so bizarre to me. And I had to live in these two countries and watch this kind of nationalistic chaos happen throughout my life.
Okay. Let's talk about NFTs. So you decided to make an NFT with MORROW Collective from your very first flag, which doesn't exist anymore as a physical artwork. Is that correct? Why did you decide to do that?
When I first started learning about NFTs, I was very excited because I love new mediums. I just want to keep experimenting with new mediums for the rest of my life. And NFTs were just so exciting. The idea of being able to take one of my works and make it move and add sound and layers I love layers. So it was just very exciting to me to be able to have this kind of freedom. And I wanted to make it of a work that didn't exist anymore. I wanted it to be one, unique. I'm not an editions artist. I make individual pieces. I'm old school. I make one piece and that's it. Even with my bronzes, it's just one piece. My flag series, everything. So it was very important to me to make a work that was unique and individual. And honestly, if I was going to own an artwork, I would want to know that I'm the only one that has it. To me, that's the whole point of art. This one unique piece. So it was important to me to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, we absolutely love it. I have to say, it's one of our star works. That's why we're having this conversation now. I guess just another word to say on the fact that this work was your first, but it doesn't exist anymore. Can you explain how come it doesn't exist, or sorry, not anymore? Has it ever existed physically? Can you just explain a bit about the history of this work?
I think for me, sometimes it's very clear when something is complete, and sometimes it just has to sit there. And for me, this was right in the beginning. It was like I just started really making, it was my first body of work. It was really making work that I feel like, okay, this is the beginning of something. Like it was literally like I had just become an artist. This was like the first everything. And I was experimenting, and I only literally had maybe 2 or 3 works. And the first flag that I really started experimenting with was this flag. And I think that's why it doesn't exist anymore, because it was so early on. And I made this flag, and it just sat there, and I kept looking at it. And then after time passed, I just wanted to add more and more and more. Because in the beginning, it was all about more. Now it's all about less. But in the beginning, it was all about layers and heaviness and thickness. So this flag completely transformed into another work, and that's the physical work that exists. But this image, when I took this image, that flag, the way it looks in that image, doesn't exist anymore. It's under 30 layers of textiles. But I always liked that first look, that first image that I took. So I kept the image because it just was like it was just the beginning of everything for me. So it was an important image.
Well, now it's been immortalized as your first NFT. I think. Can you talk a little bit about the additional depth or layers, as you have talked about many times already, but that have been added to it, which give this NFT more substance, if you like? Can you just talk a bit about that?
You mean the movement, the animation? Mm-hmm. It's weird because I never thought about how I'm very in the moment. I like to just kind of go. I don't really draw, sketch things. I like to go in the moment. And when I saw this flag, the only thing I could see really was this soft breeze, this soft wind. And I don't know if I was thinking about our escape from Iran, being in the mountains. I don't know what it was. I just saw this soft, and there was another flag, the second flag that I thinking of working on, and I also again see this wind. I don't know, maybe because America has all these flags outdoors, and they're always blowing in the wind, and this soft breeze, this wind, it just to me was very poetic. I didn't want a lot. I just wanted very minimal, but to say everything. And I thought, for me, the title is very important. So I say a lot that I want to say through the title, and these tiny little details. And it's different when it's an actual object. With this, it was perfect. I just thought this soft movement of the tassels will say everything. And it just really reminded me of I don't know, to me that it felt like that's America.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really feel like that is what your artwork is. So thank you so much for sharing the first NFT with us. And I really hope that it finds the perfect home.
Thank you, Anna.